Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today we have a review of the Harry Styles album, Fine Line. Harry Styles, of course, is a former One Direction member and really the leader of that band. And this is his second full-length studio album coming after his self-titled original one a couple years ago. And this album really takes things to the next level. There's more diverse songwriting, there's catchier hooks, there's bigger production, there's more instrumentation, more detailed instrumentation, and I loved his last effort, so that's really saying a lot. And the reason I decided to review this album, even though it came out late last year, is because it's kind of come back into the mainstream and stayed in the top 10 on the Billboard charts for pretty much since it's come out. And the single Watermelon Sugar recently just hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, so I thought, people might be interested in hearing about what I have to say about this album, so let's get into it. Fine Line opens up with the song Golden, a nice solid opening track. Harry Styles and One Direction are noted to have kind of more subdued opening tracks, but this song hits hard. It's a nice catchy song, kind of goes back to the 70s a little bit. Golden's a solid opener, but things really get interesting when you go into the second track, Watermelon Sugar. It's catchy. It's one of 2 songs about fruit on the album, and there's a reason it hit #1 on the Hot 100. It's a great summer song, and it's really catchy. Watermelon Sugar is definitely a standout, and one I've enjoyed since the album came out last year. Following up Watermelon Sugar, we have the tracks Adore You and Lights Up, 2 more big singles. And Adore You has been my favorite song on the record since it came out. It's got a nice 70s, almost disco-esque R&B vibe to it, and there's a reason it's been on radio since it came out. It's catchy, it's fun, it's a nice positive song. A lot of songs in the top 10 nowadays, they're kind of sadder, they're about broken relationship. This song is just fun, it's loving, it's about a song about just loving somebody else and just getting immersed into them and wanting to put that on record, and I thought it was a nice inclusion in the track list. Lights Up is a very pretty song. I don't know if it's the most memorable of all the singles he's released, but it was the first offering we got from Fine Line, so it was a nice, decent inclusion. There's some nice piano on the song, some nice fluttering guitars, and overall, Lights Up, it's a solid track. It's a good live song, but I don't think it's the best song on the album by any means. But the 5th song, Cherry, is where things start to get really different from the formula you think Harry's going to be playing into on this album. Cherry is very subdued. It's an acoustic track, and it's got a very interesting melody as well. It's kind of off-putting to the listener, being that it just came after a bunch of pop hits, but it does stick in your mind. It's got an infectious hook on it, and it leads into the song Falling, which I think is one of the standouts on Fine Line as well. It's a beautiful piano ballad, and Harry's really known for having a great, powerful voice, and it really stands out on Falling. I've returned to that in Adore You probably the most on the track list on Fine Line, and if you haven't heard Falling yet, yes, it's a bit more of a downer than the other singles, but I think you'll get a lot out of it. Then we have To Be So Lonely, which is kind of in the vein of Cherry. It's a nice, different kind of melody that I think people their ears will perk up a little bit, and they'll be interested in what he has to offer on that. But the song She, I think, is a standout on this album that does not get nearly enough love. She is an atmospheric, kind of David Bowie-esque song, featuring a nice amount of falsetto from Harry Styles, which I don't think it gets enough credit for either. Even though this album has been a massive pop hit, I still think there are a lot of sleepers on it that people are kind of sleeping on. I still have tickets to see Harry Styles next September. That feels like a long time from now because I was supposed to see him in July at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. But of course, COVID-19 had other plans and delayed pretty much every single public event and public tour for the foreseeable future. But I think this is going to be a standout track live, and it's a standout track on the track list itself. But like a lot of albums, the second half of Fine Line is not as good as the first half. I mean, we got the songs Sunflower Volume 6, Canyon Moon, and Treat People With Kindness. I think they all have their own unique touches. I don't think they're fantastic songs. They're unique almost for the sake of being unique. I would have been happy with just a few less songs maybe, or a few more traditional Harry Styles-esque songs, even though he's really hard to pin down because he bounces genres so much. But I don't think they're fantastic. Maybe they get a little bit cheesy at times, but the final song on Fine Line makes up for all of that. The 12th and final song on Fine Line, that being the titular track Fine Line, is a fantastic closer, an epic song coming in over 6 minutes in length. Fine Line is emotional, it's epic in scope, and it really has Harry opening up on a lyrical level that we haven't seen from him before. The first record that he did felt a little bit more party-esque at times, a little bit more poppy for the sake of it, but I think Fine Line shows just how deep his musical journey is going to go. It shows me the potential that Harry Styles has as a solo artist. Coming from One Direction, people thought he's going to be a one-and-done pop artist and that's all he has to offer. But Harry Styles has showed just how much he has to offer as a songwriter and as a performer outside of being in One Direction. And I think he has the best solo material of any of the members of One Direction have, so far at least. So overall, Fine Line is a really enjoyable experience. It was my second favorite album to come out in 2019, so revisiting it, giving it a few more listens was a task that I was very eager and happy to do. Overall, I gave Harry Styles' album Fine Line a 9.5 out of 10. That's the highest rating I've given any album on this channel to date, and I look forward to reviewing many more records, especially from Harry Styles. Thank you so much for watching PR Media. My name is Parker Reed. What do you think of Harry Styles' album Fine Line? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like my rating or if you would give it something else. Thank you so much for watching PR Media. And once again, keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. See ya.